This time we're looking at the Enterprise refit. Somewhere it's written that if a ship has the name Enterprise, it has to come with a crap ton of upgrades. So we'll get in and show you this. I could barely fit them all on camera. We have our Constitution class dial. It's kind of annoying that they didn't label these as refit. The dial's different than the original Constitution class. The picture's different, so that kind of gives it away, but the wording's exactly the same, but the dial itself is different. And definitely a maneuverable little ship, lacking the one tight turn, but it has a 2 reverse, up to a 4 forward. We have the 2 and 3, 90 degrees. The 2s are even white. So, pretty maneuverable little ship. There we have our Constitution class. You can see that maneuverability. There's the 2 reverse on there. No come about, but the 2 90 degrees. Still a nice bank in there. There we have our named U.S.S. Enterprise. And it's of note worth mentioning, it is unique. And it is the exact same name that's on the original, so you can't use this and the teeny prize at the same time. Which makes sense because they were the same ship until the Enterprise A, which was actually a new ship. This was just a refit of the original. They have 3 attack, 1 agility, 4 hull, 4 shield, which is really nice for a Constitution class. We got 1 weapon, 4 crew upgrades for 24 points. And we have a evasive, target lock, scan, and battle stations. And for our ship's ability here, we have disable. As an action, you can disable up to 2 of your active shields. For each shield disabled this way, you can gain +1 attack die if, for all your attacks with your primary weapon this round. So you start with a 3, that can give you up to a possible 5. They give you a reminder token for +1 or +2 for use with that ability. They have a generic Constitution refit. You're sacrificing 1 shield and a crew slot for 22 points. For captains, of course you have James T. Kirk. He's unique. Captain skill at 8 this time around with only 1 elite upgrade for 5 points. And as an action, you can target a ship at range 1 and disable 1 upgrade of your choice on that target. Very nice because it doesn't mention shields have to be down or anything. This Kirk's also the first of a new mechanic that's being added to the game. He has a flip side, which is Admiral James D. Kirk. He's also unique. Gets +2 to your captain's skill. He has an elite talent, 5 points. And has the same ability, but it says a fleet action, and we'll go into those when we talk about the admirals at the end of the video. He's the first of a new one of these. There's a Gul Dukat, I think, that came with the Jem'Hadar ship in this wave, and I'm expecting to see more of these as time goes on. Next captain we have is Mr. Spock. He's unique. Captain skill is 6, 1 elite upgrade for 4 points. And your ship can perform a target lock or a scan as a free action each round. Free target locks are always nice. Next up we have Willard Decker as a captain. He's a captain skill of 3 for 2 points. And during the modify attack dice step of the combat phase, you may destroy 1 of your active shields to add +1 critical to the result of your attack. Has its uses. And we have our generic Federation captain. For our elite upgrades, we have the Needs of the Many, which is 4 points. As an action, you can discard 1 of your crew upgrades with a squadron point cost of 3 or higher to repair up to 3 of your shields. Next elite talent is Self-Destruct Sequence. It's unique. 5 points. As an action, you cannot attack this round. At the end of your next activation phase, after all ships have moved, destroy your ship and roll a number of attack dice equal to your hull value to damage every ship within range 1 of your ship. These ships do not roll defense dice against this damage. You cannot use Cheat Death upgrade in conjunction with this attack. It can only be purchased for a Federation ship. Comes with a reminder token. And it basically works similar to the Borg self-destruct. The nice thing about these that was misinterpreted on the Borg one is that the damage dealt is equal to the printed hull value of your ship, not your current hull value. So these are nice to use when you're down to 1 hull and you're about to blow up anyway. You can use this and hopefully do some damage. What would a Federation ship be without crew? And this one comes with a ton of them. A couple reprints of some of the famous ones from the original. First we have Uhura. It's unique. 3 points. At the start of the activation phase, you may disable this card to add +2 to your captain skill until the end phase. It comes with a reminder token. +2 captain skill. It's of note, using this plus the Admiral, you can actually get Picard up to a captain skill of 13 for a turn. Next up we have Chekhov. He's unique. 3 points. When attacking with your primary weapon during the modify attack step of the combat phase, you can disable this card to reroll all your blank results. You must keep the results of the second roll. Always nice to have rerolls. Next up we have Savik. 3 points. You may disable this card at any time to replace one scan or battle station token beside your ship with an evasive maneuver token. Situational, but does have its uses. Next up we have Sulu. It's also unique. 3 points. As an action, if your ship is not cloaked and you performed a green maneuver this round, you can perform a sensor echo action. You may use this action even if your ship doesn't have sensor echo on its action bars. You may only use the one straight maneuver for this. Definitely useful. Next up we have McCoy. Also unique. 2 points. As an action, you can remove 2 disabled tokens from your crew upgrades. Very nice, with a lot of the crew from the Federation have disable abilities, especially the ones that came in this pack. Next we have Scotty. New version of him, also unique. 5 points. At any time you may disable this card to prevent an auxiliary power token from being placed beside your ship. Very useful. Or, as an action, you can discard this card to immediately repair up to 2 damage on your ship's hull. Both have their uses. I'm not big on discard, but this also lets you get rid of crits, because it just says damage, it doesn't specify. So it has its uses. Last we have Elia. And if you recognize her, then you know where the scenario for this mission's going. 4 points. You do not lose your perform action step when you overlap another ship's base. Our weapon upgrade is photon torpedoes for 4 points, 5 attack, range 2 to 3, takes a target lock, and can be fired from the front or rear arc. No special ability on these though. The trade-off from being so cheap, I think. As for the extras that came with the ship, you have your additional rules card and tokens for the Admirals, which we'll get to. You have our 4 shield, battle station scan, evasive maneuver, target lock RR, our critical and auxiliary tokens, and then the various tokens that go with the upgrades. The scenario this time around is Ranger. I haven't had a chance to actually play it, but based on the movie that it's from, I'm sure it'll be interesting. And you even get this really neat Ranger token. As for the ship itself, like any of the other Federation ships, it definitely needs a wash, but it does have a decent amount of detail. Now, it's a lot bigger than the old Tiny Prize, so a lot of people are going to be happy with that. And for our base, as with the other TOS Enterprise, it's got a 180-degree front arc, which is nice. And the same with the generic. One of the new mechanics added in this expansion is the Admirals. And Admirals are double-sided. They have a captain ability on one side, a Admiral ability on the other. You can include one face-up Admiral card in your fleet, which must be assigned to one of your ships. Faction penalties are tripled for face-up Admiral cards. You may choose to assign an Admiral card to one of your ships as a normal captain, face down. If so, you can't use the Admiral abilities. When face up, the card is assigned to one of your ships. Your fleet gains the following abilities. 1. Each Admiral card has a skill modifier in the lower corner. This modifier is added to the skill number of the captain on the ship which the Admiral is deployed, and only on that ship. So in this instance we have our Captain Kirk, Admiral Kirk. And Admiral Kirk gives a +2. And to represent that, we have this that goes on the base of your ship, representing that the Admiral's on board, and you're gaining the +2. Number 2, once per round, a friendly ship within range 1 to 3 of the Admiral ship or the Admiral ship itself can perform a fleet action listed on that card instead of performing its normal action. Now, instead means it takes the place of your normal action. So again, in this case, our Admiral Kirk lets us target a ship at range 1 and disable an upgrade of our choice on that ship. And we have our fleet action token to know that we used it for the turn. So if the ship the Admiral's on gets a communications failure or injured captain, the effects of those cards do not apply to your face-up Admiral. In either case, your Admiral skill modifier still applies to the ship. So even if your captain's disabled, you still get the bonus. And you can play them as a captain, use them as normal. Or you can play them this way as an upgrade. You get this bonus and the ability to take that fleet action. If they have an elite talent like he does, you get the extra elite talent, and it can be used as long as he or the captain is in play. Should your captain be disabled or discarded, you can flip them back over. Use this Admiral as a captain until such time as your captain returns, in which case he goes back to being an Admiral. Interesting new mechanic. I think we're going to see a lot of use out of this. I know the Jem'Hadar ship already has a Gul Dukat Admiral, and I suspect we're going to see more as time goes on. All in all, it's a nice pack for the Federation. Lots of crew upgrades. The ship itself is pretty nice. The only way I would play the original Tiny Prize over this version is if I was using Janeway on it to make use of its ability to ignore auxiliary power tokens. But even with this version, you've got Montgomery Scott, the new version, with his ability to let you ignore auxiliary power tokens. So, just not quite as good as the one that was on the TOS Enterprise. But other than that, it's a really good pack. If you're playing Federation, you're definitely going to want this one to add to your arsenal. And we'll see you in the next video.